All right, what's going on, guys? Paradise Life says here. Hope you're enjoying the Trump funny videos about Donald Trump. I love Donald Trump. I used to work for one of Trump's companies for 3.5 years. I was his top sales guy, doing seminars all over the United States of America. I've trained millions and millions of people. And one of the ways I teach people how to make money every day, every week, every month in real estate without using none of your own money, no credit checks, and no risk is called a lease option. Now, follow me here real quick, okay? What we're gonna do is we're gonna go on Craigslist, or we're gonna drive around your area where you live, low to middle income, bread and butter properties, $150,000, $200,000, $300,000, because that's where 90% of Americans live. Did you know that most people, like you, are middle class people? They're middle class. They got a wife, they got 2 kids, they got a dog, they got a cat, they got 2 car payments, they got a 2-car garage, 3-bed, 3-bath house, living in a little community in a $250,000, $300,000, $350,000 house. That is middle income. That's blue collar middle income. That's probably you, right? And the only way to get out of middle income and go into high income, you got to start making a lot more money. Here's one way to do it with lease options. I'm going to find somebody that's selling a house for sale by owner, maybe for rent to own, owner financing, or a lease option. Now, I'm going to offer them to buy the property, but I'm going to say, hey, I need 12 months to get my loan together, right? So I'm going to say, would you be willing to go into a rent to own situation or lease with an option to buy? Now, not everybody's going to say yes, but about 35 to 40% will say, yes, I would do that. Perfect. So we say, how much do you want for the house? Well, the house is worth about $200,000. Okay, I tell you what, I'll pay you $200,000 today, or I'm asking for 12 months, but I want the same $200,000 price. Now, if the market goes up, they're still getting 200 grand. Excuse me. So they have to agree to that. And a lot of people will, especially if they're older, they're in their 50s, they're in their 60s, especially if they're in their 70s. They're living in an old house that was built in the 1960s or 70s or 80s, and it needs work. It needs a little rehabbing. But right now, they're willing to just rent it out. So I'm going to get a contract on that. I'm just using my little Jesus Christ pamphlet here as a contract. I'm going to get a contract where they agree to take $200,000 for their house with the option, I have 12 months to buy it for that 200 grand. Got it? Now I got to pay them a monthly lease payment, a rent. I got to pay them rent, right? So the average real estate rule is 1% of the assessed value for the rent. So that's $2,000. I'm going to offer them $1,700 a month, okay? I'll pay all the utilities, everything, unless they want to include the utilities. I'll pay them $1,800 or $1,500 or $1,900 a month. But usually you get a better deal if you just say, I'll pay all the utilities, don't worry about that. I'm gonna rent this for $1,700 a month. Now, if they agree to that, here's the deal. It's $1,700 every month rent with the option to buy it at any time for $200,000. I can buy it today, I can buy it next week, next month, or I have 12 months to come up with that 200 grand and the house gets transferred over to my company and it is mine. Okay, you got it? You understand? Lease with option to buy. Now I say I need 30 days. I got to do my due diligence. I got to have a property inspector come over and look at it. So I'm not going to move in right now, but give me next month. So now I got 30 days to find my buyer. So I'm going to advertise this on Craigslist, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. I'm going to put a sign out front, everything, okay? Because they're giving me, the house is vacant. They just want their rent money, $1,700 a month. I find a family, a couple, they say, hey, we want the house. Our mom lives in the area. Our family's in the area. We don't have the loan yet to buy it, but we would like to purchase it. So I say, well, I can offer you a lease with an option to buy, because that's exactly what I have from the seller, the owner. And guys, this works the best when people own it outright. They don't have a mortgage on it. They paid off the loan. It's free and clear because they're much more negotiable. You understand? You got that? And there's thousands of them right around where you live. I guarantee it, because I do this every day with people at every city, every state. So we negotiate a deal, and I say, you're going to pay me $2,000 a month, and I'm going to sell this to you for $220. I'm going to add 10% on the $200 that I'm buying it from, which is 20 grand, and I'm going to say, you got 12 months to pay me 220 grand. You can buy it today for $220. You can buy it in 6 months for $220. I'm giving you all the way till 12 months for $220,000. They say, perfect, thank you so much. We signed the lease option agreement, which I have all the agreements. I got all the paperwork. That's easy stuff. If you join my mentorship, I give you all the contracts, all the lease agreements, all the owner finance agreements, everything, guys. And we walk you through these deals live in our mentorship. So they move in, They pay the first month's rent plus 1 month deposit. So I get a deposit of $1,700. I get the first month's rent of $1,700. And then I even say this: if you pay me the first and last month's rent, $1,700, okay, and you pay me the deposit. So actually, they're going to pay me 3 months. They're going to pay me the first month's rent, last month's rent, and 1 month deposit. I will drop it to $1,650. I'll shave $50 off the price. They say, perfect, we'll take it. Now I got to pay $1,700, but they're giving me $1,650 times 3. So now I'm going to put cash in my pocket on the day they close, which usually only takes a couple days. I'm going to make $1,650 times 3 cash in my pocket. Now remember, I got to pay the first month's rent to the owner, the seller, $1,700. But I'm going to make myself about $2,400, $2,500, $2,600 cash immediately when these people move in. They're going to pay me that $1,650 a month. I'm going to pay them $1,700. I'm losing $50 a month, but it doesn't matter because $50 a month I'm negative times 12 months, guys. That's not a lot of money. It's only $600. I'm going to make that when they buy it for $220. I'm going to make 20 grand. I'm going to close with the lease option buyer from me. I'm going to have the owners close with them, okay? I'm going to assign the whole contract to the buyer. They're going to close with my closing attorney or theirs, and they're going to pay $220. I'm going to pay the owner's going to get paid off $200, my agreed price. I make 20 grand. Usually the buyer pays all closing costs. We can negotiate that a little bit, but usually I will walk away with around 15 to 18 grand that I made. Plus, I didn't use any of my money. I didn't have my credit checked, and I had no risk. The buyer did that I rented the house to. Holy shit, does that really work? Guys, we do this every single day in every city, every state across the USA. You can do this in Canada. You can do this anywhere. Guys, you're just putting a buyer and a seller together. You're negotiating a monthly fee so the buyer has time to get their loan. We even help them get their loan with all of our banks and our financiers, okay? Is that amazing? It's genius. So that's one way. Another way, you can make money, no credit, no risk. Guys, you can do 10, 12, 15, 20 a month if you're a hustler, and I will teach you how to hustle. My name is Money Motivator. They call me Uncle Jim. And I will motivate you to make money in the #1 market right now. It's real estate. And guys, if you're watching the news with Trump and all the tariffs, the U.S. economy is about to go into a recession. Real estate is going to plummet. We're going to go into a crash. You're going to see more foreclosures and bank-owned properties and opportunities to make thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, guys, extra a month in real estate. And you can have enough money at 65 to retire with a $1 million real estate portfolio. Join my program, like, subscribe, watch this other video here on how to do the next strategy. Guys, I know how to do 21 different ways to make money in real estate, using money or no money, and I can teach it to you. Tap the link in my description. Join my mentorship right now. See you in the next video.